Good morning. Once. So, how are your practicals going on? Nice. Zabardast, huh? Very good. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about elastic beanstalk, right? So let me open that elastic beanstalk. Okay. Okay. Let me share my screen. So do you remember yesterday we discussed about the elastic beanstalk configurations, right? And then we stopped at deployment options, right? Guys, yesterday we discussed about deployment methods also, like preset, single instance, and then high availability, right? And then yesterday we discussed about these deployment options like all at once, rolling with additional batches, immutable, right? So these are all just a drop-down boxes only. If you select this, automatically this beanstalk will do everything behalf of you, right? And what are these all at once, and then rest, we'll see it now in graphical way. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Let me do a full screen. Do you still see my screen, guys? Okay. So all at once. So just consider that, guys, if you have 4 EC2 instance with version 1 running, 4 EC2 instance with version 1 running. So now I want to update all this version 1 to version 2. I want to update version 1 to version 2. How? There is one thing called all at once. So if you select all at once, what will happen is this beanstalk will go and will take down all and will update it to version 2. All at once. If you're doing all at once, definitely there will be a downtime, right? Yes or no? Yes. So this is called all at once. And second one is a rolling. Rolling meaning, guys, if you have 4 EC2 instances version 1, you will be giving something called bucket size. So if you mention the size as 2, only first 2 EC2 instance will be taken off, and the first is 2 EC2 instance will be updated to version 2, and then next 2 will be taken off, and next 2 will be updated to version 2. So this is a rolling. Rolling meaning, batch by wise, bucket size, based on the bucket size. Yeah, part by part, it will be doing it. So you no need to do anything, guys. AWS will be, Beanstalk will be doing everything behalf of you. Just need to select either you need to go for all at once or rolling. That's it. And then coming to rolling with additional batches, if you have 4 EC2 instances with version 1, it doesn't touch that 4. It will launch 2 new EC2 instances with version 2 directly. Once that is successful, then it will take first 2, then it will take next 2, and then finally it will go. And finally, the additional 2 EC2 instances which was launched initially will get terminated automatically. This is rolling with additional batches. So coming to immutable, in immutable, if you have current auto-scaling group running with version 1, so it will create a temporary auto-scaling group and it will update version 2 over there. It doesn't touch the existing current auto-scaling group. It will create a temporary auto-scaling group. It will update the version 2 there. Once everything is updated, like version 2 is deployed properly in temporary auto-scaling group, then slowly it will move all this version 1 to version 2 to the current auto-scaling group. Once that is perfectly fine, and the previous version 1 EC2 instance will get terminated, and temporary auto scaling group will also get deleted. So this is called immutable. Do you understand? So based on your requirement, you need to select either all at once, either with rolling or rolling with additional batches, or you want to go with immutable, go with it. That's understood? So apart from these options, most of the experienced people will do another model which Beanstack is not supporting that. That meaning Beanstack doesn't do that, but we can do it by ourselves. The experienced people will do it. Should I tell you that? How we do it in our real time? Okay, let's see that. So okay, so this is the whole application. Okay, and inside this we have our own environment. Guys, so this is the environment. Inside this environment, we have an EC2 instance. So we have the EC2 instance with app version 1. EC2 instance. And guys, let's say, for example, this is running on some called Tomcat. Okay. So this will have its own environment URL, right? This will have its own environment URL. So this is my current actual environment, guys. Yes or no, guys? So customer is here. Customer is accessing, let's say, for example, we have boom.com. So if a customer is accessing boom.com, where does the request go? The request go to this environment. Is it clear? Guys, is this clear? Okay. Now, guys, now I want to update this version 1 to version 2. So we have clearly learned that we have something called deployment options. What are the deployment options that we had, guys? All at once. Next. Rolling with additional batches. And the last one is immutable. So this, guys, so these are all the things. What they do is all at once, meaning it will go and deploy directly on this environment. Rolling will also do it directly on this environment. Everyone will be doing directly hitting on this customer used environment. Yes or no? Directly they are hitting on the customers using environment. But guys, if something wrong happen also, it will roll back. But you are touching the current customer accessing the environment. Instead of that, can we create our own parallel another environment? Who will stop us? No one will stop us. So Aram say what I do, I'll go and launch the EC2 instance inside here. I no need to do it to anyone. I no need to tell even to the customer. So Aram say what I do, I'll install application, but this time here I'll install version 2 directly. Let's say, for example, you have a requirement that you need to completely change the platform from Tomcat to Python. Can I use Python runtime here? Yes, guys, doing on existing environment is difficult because customer is using, but I need to have downtime, etc. But here I'm creating my own parallel environment with whatever the require, whatever based on if I have my application has changed to version 2, yes, I will updating. My platform itself is now changing to Tomcat to Python. Yes, I can do it. And it has its own environment URL, right? So guys, doing like this, the actual environment is called blue environment. The actual environment is called blue environment. And the environment that you have created, the new one is called green environment, right? That is newly created. And this model is called blue-green deployment model. So many of the experienced people basically use this model in a real time, uh, to make it very, very easily doing the changes to the customer. So what we will be doing it simply, guys, so customer is using this environment, but actually the customer, actually we have our new environment, right? So we need to make this customer to use our new environment, but boom.com URL should change. No, it should not change. So there is a superb concept in Beanstack. The concept is called swap URL. What is that called? Swap URL. So this environment URL will be swapped to this URL, and this URL will be swapped to this URL. So when the customer is accessing boom.com, simply the request will come here. As it is swapped, the request will go to this URL, this environment. We can do it in a blink of an eye. Just blink of an eye, the customer will see the new environment completely. Big change in one single blink of eye to the customer. Understood, guys? Guys, you don't get all the things in your any other courses. This is all the real time that we do it. Understood? Experienced people, yes or no? People they don't tell all these things. IP with IP, remember, extra at any cost in your entire life, you should not use with the IP address. Remember, always go with the DNS, that means URL. The URL will remain same. Okay, let's do one thing. Should we do the same real-time practical now on the Beanstack? This blue-green deployment? Hmm? Right, let's do this. So see the requirement. Guys, I'll create an application. Inside that, first I'll create one environment. With what platform? With Tomcat. Okay, and I'll try to access the URL. The URL should not change. And parallelly after that, I'll create a Python environment with the EC2 instance here. When I access this URL, automatically I should get it, this new URL, this new environment. Should we do that? Okay, so let's log in. And okay, let's go to Beanstalk. So guys, do you see this here? In Beanstack, I told you that you don't have any other option except by for creating what? First, what we need to create? We need to create a application. So let's click on create application. What is the application name? Should I go with 11 a.m. Beanstack demo? Should go with like this, right? Okay, 11 a.m. demo. Guys, we are going with Tomcat, right? Let's put Tomcat, for example. Huh? You can give any name, guys. So choose platform. What is the platform that we should choose? In real time, what name they'll give? Your application name, yeah? How do I know your application name? So this will go with the Tomcat. Okay. So guys, here, this is the where this is the place where you upload your own code. Guys, you will be having your own code, right? The developer will be giving you the zip file application. This is the place where you go and upload. But here AWS is giving me a sample application. I'll go with that sample application. Okay. Do you understand, guys? This is the place where you need to upload your own application. This is the place where you give to the Beanstalk. Okay. So do not click on create application. Let us talk more here. Configure more options. Let's click on it. So when you're configure more options, so it is creating an environment called 11 a.m. demo Tomcat minus env. Understood? This is the application name and this is the environment name. Okay, do you remember we discussed about the presets, single instance and high availability? Yes or no? So you know very well, single instance meaning it will launch one single EC2 instance. High availability meaning it will go and have all kind of high availability concepts. So if you go for single instance, so you can select either high availability or single instance, or if you want a spot instance also, you can go for it. So custom configuration meaning what? I told you, custom configuration meaning if you want to have your own stuff, then go for custom configuration. So if you come down here, do you see this here? Guys, Beanstalk is all about this page only. Beanstalk is all about this page only. If you understand this page, and it will be very simple. So in software section, guys, developers, can you tell me, do you create some global environment variables, right? So you can create a global variables like, JDBC connection strings, everything you can put it here. And this connection, these variables, you can use it inside your application. Yeah. And then log streaming. So if you want to push all the logs to, CloudWatch logs, put it. And if you want to rotate the logs meaning what? So rotate the logs meaning if you want to delete the old logs and how many days that you want to retain it, all the things you can put it. If you click on edit, you see this. So guys, X-ray, do not worry about X-ray. This is related to the developers where if you want to see how the requests are going from one place to another place, if you want to track it, then you need to go for X-ray. But here, ignore. Rotate logs. I told you that you can, all the logs will be stored in S3 if you want, right? So we haven't discussed about the S3 yet, but this is a place where you can go. It's just a matter of enabling it, guys. It will create its own bucket and put the logs there. And log streaming, I told you that for how many days, if you enable it, for how many days if you want to keep the logs, put it. This is called retention period. That meaning if you want to store the logs for 1 year or 2 year or only 7 days or 14 days, just mention it. After that, logs will be deleted automatically. So environment variables, you can put the key name and then value here. So anytime you can go and edit these modifications and you can change it. This is on software. Instances. So guys, it will launch its own EC2 instance, right? Yes. Babu, Papa, you have to respond, right? So instances you have, so it will go and launch, right? So by default for Windows EC2 instance, how much GB that we used to get? 30. For Linux, 8 GB. So 10 or 8. Yeah. So that is your default size here. But and the security groups, Elastic Beanstalk will create his own security group. If you click on edit, guys, so by default it is container default. That meaning it will create its own instance, its own size. But if at all you want to go with the GP2, GP3, I want whichever it is, select and put the size here, right? And then here you have security groups. Do you see these security groups? If you select this, it will go to the custom configuration preset. But if you don't want, it will, if Beanstalk wants to create its own security group, keep it none. But in real time, always go with the custom configuration. That meaning your own security groups. Capacity. We know that we have used which preset? Single instance preset. That meaning you will have only single instance, either T2 micro or T2 small, right? And this is the image that will automatically take it. But if at all you go for high availability, do you see this here? Capacity is load balancing, auto scaling, all this will get changed. If you go for edit, do you see this load balancer? If at all you want the load balancer, go for it. Just a second. Okay. So instances and etc. Guys, if you want to change all these configurations, you can change it. Okay, now. So that is on high availability. If you go for single instance, so single instance doesn't have any load balancer, right? Guys, capacity is this. But if you select high availability, you can choose the load balancer here, guys. So in the another section, you want to have which load balancer, application, classic, network. So if you can go for any of the load balancer here and select based on your requirement. But in our case, we just go with the single instance. If you go for single instance, there is no load balancer here. And this is the rolling updates and deployment. Just now we have learned, right? So you want all at once. If you just go for edit, so all at once or immutable, because you have single EC2 instance. If you go for high availability, then you will get more options maybe there. If you go for edit, do you see this? Yes, you will get all. Seeing all at once, rolling with additional badges, immutable, and there is something new called traffic splitting. The name itself is saying you traffic splitting. That means traffic will be splitting across the multiple EC2 instances. So it's just a drop down, guys. If you select this and then do all, I told you batch size and all, you have to give it, and then you just go check, ignore health checks and all the things that we have already learned. So based on a requirement, you just go ahead and then do it. Security, it will create its own role, because let's say you know the concept of role, yes or no? If Beanstalk, if your application want to do something, right, and this role will help. If you want to give your own role, yes, create a role and attach it, put it here. And virtual machine key pair, guys, your key pair. If you want to attach a key pair, right? So it's all about the require monitoring. You can get the monitoring updates, manage updates. That if you want to do some updates, and then notification, you can select SNS. Network, this is not part of a VPC, but if you go for custom configuration, then if you click on edit, guys, if you want to go with the default VPC, select the default VPC or whichever the VPC. And the subnets, guys, load balancer should be, guys, subnets I will talk about in VPC section, but at least do you know that we have two types of subnets, public subnets and private subnets? So this load balancer subnet should be public or private load balancer? Yes. So you need to select those public subnets here for load balancer in real time. And for instances, you need to select the for databases subnets instances, you need to select private one. But how do we know what is public? How do we know what is private and all? We'll see in VPC section, not here. And database, it will fetch from RDS. See, fetching RDS configuration. So if you have any RDS instances, it will get fetched over here, but RDS also we will see in later. Guys, do you understand all these configurations, everyone? Guys, so Beanstalk is all about this. If you read it, you will get to know the configurations. So I have explained each and everything over here based on your requirement in the real time. You have to choose it. Everyone CC on it. Nice. So I'll go with the single instance, which is free available. And by the way, guys, Beanstalk is completely free. What is that? Beanstalk service is completely free, but the EC2 instances that you will be launched in the backend that will be charged not now for you after free tier. But this why I told you this is this will be helpful in your real time. In real time in your company, just think that Beanstalk is completely free for you, and whatever the EC2 instance is getting launched in the backend, that will get charged. But you are in free tier, right? Whatever the EC2 instance is getting launched, you will have 750 hours free. And that meaning for now, it's free for you. So now I'm going and creating app and see the magic now. We will not be doing anything. It will taking the zip file application, it will creating everything by itself, and finally do everything. It will give the URL to me. Just wait and see. Of course, yes. Gulshan, of course, yes. So how's going, guys? All good? Personal life? Yes, Sagar. Monica is smiling. हिमांशु पूरा उल्टा हो गया, हाँ? But still you are laughing. That's good. Waiting for month end salary, huh? Good. AWS is easy in front of life. अच्छा मेरे दोस्त का ब्रेकअप हुआ then he can easily complete that UPSC exam or IPS exam, whatever exam he can do. Definitely he'll clear. Yes, do you see this here on the guys on the screen? Do you see this? Everything went smooth, and then yeah, you should not miss the class, Masruti. Tomorrow is a new service, so you can continue. So guys, here, do you see this here? So this environment is now up green. Everything looks good. Do you see this? This is the URL. This is the environment URL that it has created, guys. So should I open this? And there we go. Do you see this? This is the sample application that AWS is providing. In this case, in your real time, the application which you have provided, you will get it just like this here. Guys, have I done anything manual? No. I just gave the zip file, that meaning sample application, everything it did, and give the URL to me. Your application is ready with the URL. See how fast and how easy. So now, guys, now this is the URL 11 a.m. demo Tomcat is the URL which customer is using. Okay. One and antara. Yes. So this is the URL which customer is using it. Okay. Now, customer said that we got a requirement that, hey boss, so you have done the entire thing in Tomcat environment. Now let's move the platform to Python. Actually, that is a very big task because this is the actual real-time environment which customer is using. He should not get disturbed, but this complete application should be not only the application in the backend platform also should get changed. Should we apply blue-green deployment now? Yes. For that, what we should do on the left side, you see applications. So 11 a.m. Tomcat is a demo. Tomcat is the application here. If you go here, we have the only one environment. So what we need to create? Should we create a new environment now? Instead of going and bothering this existing environment, let's create a new environment. So go with the web server environment because this is a website. And then here in environment name, instead of this, should we go and give Python? And this is the URL, guys. The URL now we got it. So while creating the environment, you need to check that URL is also unique or not. So URL check availability is available. And which platform that we thought to select? Python. And should we upload version 2? That meaning sample application. Just assume that this is version 2, sample application. And click on configure more options. So let's go to single instance. Let's keep everything default as we did for the last time. Yes or no, guys? And click on create environment. So while creating my new environment, do I have any problem with my existing customer using environment, this URL? Everything is working fine. Everything is working fine. No harm. We are doing parallelly another environment. Let's wait. DB things and all will not change here. DB and that is the backend, right? This is the front end, Rahul. Will you tell about AWS job suggestions? There's so many There are so many jobs available. Yeah. Check in LinkedIn. Is any dependency in app, sir? Yes, that are all the things that developers should take it, na? Right? Dependency. Let's say, for example, you have. Okay. Now I just give an example. From Tomcat to Python. But Tomcat, that is completely Java application. Then this is completely Python related thing. I'm just giving an example. It can be a platform also. It can be a same Tomcat with version 2 also. Both are same process. But they require DevOps or integration with AWS. Yes, that is good. That's what I said. Remember when I gave you DevOps class, 1-day class, I told you that AWS plus DevOps is very good. So after finishing my AWS class, I would suggest to go with the DevOps experienced people. Yes, Sagar, there will be chance. Definitely, yes. Sir, in real time, where I'll give application URL. Guys, this is a nasty URL, right? This nasty URL should be made up to where? In Route 53. There we create nice URL like Sony.com, like this, and then we give the URL to the customer. But here in this case, we are not giving any URL to the customer. Customer will be using only the same URL, this URL only. But backend should get changed. Let's see. Yeah, like DNS. Yes. Suggest as best faculty for DevOps. Can I tell you one thing? All trainers are not same. And you don't find same as Riyaz sir in entire world also. I'm just telling. So every trainer is special with something, right? So my thing is, I'm a student sir. That meaning whatever the students need, I'll teach it. So the rest people, they just try to finish the course and then they just to complete it. But I don't really mind of the number of days until you say CC. But the thing is, don't apply my strategy. Like I need just like Riyaz sir for DevOps, for Linux, for my, and I also just need like Riyaz sir, like husband like Riyaz sir. I'm just kidding. Yeah, just kidding. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so it's not possible. It's not possible, right? So you have to like wherever you feel little bit better. So do not please compare. Uh, yeah. So just go with the demo classes, and if you like, just attend. Yes. दोस्त जैसे पढ़ाते हो. Yeah, rightly said. We should learn Python. Yes, I told you one scripting language is always good, but I'm telling you guys, if you anyone, guys, anyone, if you know AWS and if you learn DevOps and if you know Python, or just forget about everything. If you really know Python and if you can do job in Python, I'm ready to give the job to you. Because in my team, um, I have a Python requirement, I have a DevOps requirement, I have AWS requirement, not only AWS. So if you learn Azure GCP also, if after this, guys, after learning AWS, Azure GCP is very simple. Just you need to know the namings. That's all. You need to have a feel of just going it. So if you're good in Python, just send me a resume. I'll only take interview. Yes. Working same like Excel. Yes, right. So working is same, like everything scenarios, everything are same. All our EC2 instances, let's say here we call it as EC2, in Azure they call it as VM. Here we call it as something S3, there we call it as blob storage, right? Here there is something called something, there it is something. So it just, but what I'm saying is, so you know, after learning my course, you will know about the AWS. Yes, Monica, if you're good in with that Python plus AWS, let me know. But I'm telling you, Python, you will be sitting in the Python project under me. Yeah. Okay. Automation, yeah. If you, Ashish, if you know Java, of course, you can also do Python, right? You can, because the logic, if you know logical thing, then yes, Python will be also easy. Okay. For experience at the moment. But if you have freshers also, we'll let you know. Okay, let's come back here. So guys, here, do you see this here? This is the, yeah, Java is huge compared to Python. So guys, here, do you see this? The second Python environment is also ready. Should we just go and check how it does it look like? So if I open this, oh, this is in green color already. So this is Python, guys. So I close it. So this is the URL that customer is using, right? 11 a.m. demo Tomcat. This is the URL that customer is using, right? Which is in blue color. And my requirement is now the URL should not change, but the backend this application should change to green color after the update. Customer should see in a blink of eye with the same URL. If he refresh it, it should go to green. That meaning new application, complete Python platform. Should we do that? So how to do that? So select this, go to the application level. Go to the application level, and in actions, you have something called swap URLs. Do you see this? Swap URLs. Let's click on it. Swapping from where to where? From Tomcat to Python environment. You're swapping it. Guys, do you understand how I'm swapping it? How easy is this? Click on, boom, swap. Gone, khadam bat. Guys, khadam. So if you go any of the, see, completed swapping. Within 1 second, the swapping is completed. So now, should I go here and try to refresh it? No, URL should not be, URL should be same. URL should not change. If I refresh, the customer has refreshed the URL, boom. You see that? The backend complete application with platform has been changed, and within the blink of eye, customer is seeing version 2. How easy is that? No one is saying wow. Right? But actually, this, if you do this in real time, really, I'm telling you, will get a lot of appreciations. Right? So now let's say, for example, all of a sudden, now something went wrong. So you can swap back again to your, you can roll back. How do you roll back? Simple. Go to application level. And then here you have again swap URL from where to where? From Python to Tomcat. Swap it. If you say something, testing, etc., something went wrong. So just, I think it will not change because it will be cached, but let me see. Oh, do you see this? Now it went to blue color. That meaning entire platform has been changed to Tomcat again. So it's a blink of eye. It doesn't take even 1 second to do this. Yes. Understood? So this is all about this beanstalk. But let me give you the few things here. In actions, you see, you can create an environment, you can delete application, view application versions. So guys, you will be uploading version 1, version 2 and all, right? Let's say, for example, I go for Tomcat environment. Do you see this? If you want to update version 2 on the same, guys, if you want to use this concept, you want to use this concept, then go to this environment. Do you see this here? Upload and deploy. Click on it and select your version 2 and then deploy it. And here, as we selected single EC2 instance, you don't get that deployment options. But if you have a high availability, here you see deployment option. You want to go with all at once, or you want to go for rolling, etc. And if you click on deploy, Beanstalk will go and deploy to the each and every EC2 instance in the backend. You just need to watch. So this, you can directly hit it and upload and deploy directly on the environments, or you can go with the blue-green deployment. So view saved configurations. So guys, there is a very big bad this thing. We do all kind of configuration. Later, some other team member will come and change the configuration, and now he say that it's not working. So for that reason, always good to save all your configuration of your Beanstalk. So if something went wrong, you can go with that configurations, and then you can restore it. And then restore terminated environment. Just in case someone has accidentally terminated their environment. I'm not, guys, application is different, environment is different. Application contain multiple environments, right? So if you go inside it, someone went and then terminated the environment. If you go inside it and someone went and terminated the environment. So, and if you want to restore it, yes, it is possible to restore from here. So this is application level actions. So if you go inside it, there is also another level actions, create environment, delete, restore, terminate, and swap URLs. We also know this. And if you go to environment and then actions, load configurations. Guys, you might have saved the okay, let me save it. Save configuration. Okay. There is Hammaya config. So save. That meaning if some stupid has changed the settings and your application is not working, then what you do? Simply load configurations. Hammaya, whenever you see the configurations, Hammaya configurations, click on load, and then automatically the old configuration will go loaded and your application is back. And swap URLs, you know that clone environment. What is clone environment here? Cloning meaning what? Yes, Shravya. Many people use Beanstalk. Clone environment meaning duplicating the environment. Restart app servers meaning what? So guys, if something, let's say you want to restart the EC2 instance, which is handled by Beanstalk, will you go and manually restart it? No. So if you want Beanstalk to restart, go and ask Beanstalk to restart app servers. Rebuild environment meaning, guys, if you click on rebuild environment, existing EC2 instance will get terminated and new EC2 instance will get launched. That meaning the entire environment will rebuild newly. Will there be that's what it is, a single EC2 instance. But whenever you go, you are completely rebuilding the entire environment, Ashish. You need to take care of it. It will completely rebuild. Let's say you have old configurations. If we click on rebuild, see, rebuilding the environment may take several minutes, during which your application will not be available and any attached RDS DB instances will be deleted. And if you want to save your data, create a snapshot before rebuilding an environment. So within worst, like you had to plan it accordingly while you are doing the rebuild. But in real time, do not click on rebuild because your application will be off. For that reason, you cannot go and chumma click on that, play with it, like how Brahmanandam is playing in the hospital, like putting the switch on and off and all, like this. Terminate environment is terminating the environment. And for this, anytime you can go and change the configurations, guys. Anytime for The same, the configurations can be edited. You can see the logs. You can request large 100 logs and full logs. Health monitoring, you can monitoring it. Alarms, you can create it. Events, you can see it. Tags. So this is all become the Beanstalk. So guys, if you go to EC2 instance, there, if you click, see, these are all the EC2 instance launched. And you know from here how to do it. So, and task is here. So guys, see, this is what I have already did everything for you. So go and click on each and every option like clone, environment, etc., etc. But in our task, I have selected single preset, single EC2 instance preset. I want you to do single preset, and also I want you to do HA preset also, high availability, and see what is happening. And developers, no, HA will not charge because you have 750 hours free now. Do it and then delete it, yeah. And developers, here in the example, I have selected sample application, which is providing by the Beanstalk. Can you have your own application? Or else you can download this Beanstalk. Guys, so this is a URL where you get the sample applications of any language. So here, do you see this here? We have selected Tomcat. This is the application, tomcat.zip file. So you download it and see what does the tomcat.zip file contains and how they have coded, and then you change some modifications and try to upload as V2. Guys, can you upload that V2 on existing environment? Go to that environment and upload and deploy your version 2. Choose and then change the modification to it, and then have see and deploy and see the URL, the changes. Understood? Right? So that is a take it. So once you are done with it, so do not forget to delete it. So guys, if you go and delete the application, you remember you cannot restore the application. You can restore only the environment. But if you delete the complete application, it's gone completely. So if you delete it, it will be deleted. Delete. So it might be, yes, terminating the environment. Understood, guys? Any questions? And underlining EC2 instances, everything will get deleted. You no need to delete it. Take the screenshot. Yes. ओके पासवर्ड नहीं मिला क्या ठीक है so password maybe one reason is they might have not done the complete payment as such. That's a reason why he has not given the password. Until as they do the payment, they don't give. But if they have done the payment, so guys, and by the way, in your group also, please do not put the passwords. This is uh, okay. If it is password is done, then ask them to send me an email with the screenshots. At least I'll try to help them. That is not my job, but still I'll do it for you. And please do not put the latest password in the groups, in your WhatsApp group. Do not give the new link or new password to the group. And that is also another email ID of mine. Great. So guys, can you give me the final CC for today on Beanstalk? Oh. Okay, thank you. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.